Yo, 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 it's your boy Casual Rail with the Silent A podcast. And man, we're back with another one. And a quick one at that. Hit that like button. It's free. Helps us get eyes on the show and helps us grow. And more importantly, subscribe if you got the time, man. We appreciate that love. And for this, let's get into it. It's the likes of Chris Eubank Jr., Conor Benn, the rumored rematch, September 2025. And we're here for it. Now, I know many of you that's been following us, that first fight we weren't really too into here. Mainly because of the weight difference and the catch weight and all that good stuff. But as we got closer to that fight, we got more into it with the history, the back and forth, and closing out that chapter between the two families. And when we got to the fight, April 26, 2025, and called it live, we saw something beautiful. We saw something, a whole storyline come together, with Chris Eubank Jr. and his dad finally reconnecting, walking into the arena together, and then walking out, obviously, to the ring together after not speaking for so long. And then obviously you had the Benz there, classy, walked out. It was just a great event, great storyline that came together. But then more importantly, we saw a fight of the year contender, a beautiful fight, beautiful scrap, something that truly elevates the sport of boxing. I don't think many, at least in my opinion, many think we're going to get something like that. Many thought Chris Eubank was going to get hurt, and he did. He got hurt a little bit throughout that fight, but I'm talking about knocked out early just due to the weight drain, the cut, and then all the stipulations to weigh back in, etc. You got it. But what we saw was something beautiful that elevated the sport of boxing, how it reminds you of what boxing truly is and why it is the best sport out there. Salute to those two men. Salute to those two warriors because they gave us something amazing, especially better than what we saw from the follow-on Fatal Fury set of fights, with the likes of Devin the Dream Haney, Teofimo Lopez, Ryan Garcia, even the Canelo Williams Skull fight. Not a great weekend of boxing there. They should have really tuned in and took a lesson from Eubank and Conor Benn. That's how you're supposed to fight. That's how you bring boxing back. But let's get back into this rematch. How should this go? What is the best path forward for September 2025? First of all, it's obvious. Bring the same heat. Bring the same heat to September 2025. We don't need a lot of drama in this one, though. We don't need a lot of more, extra build up and storylines for this one. I think we saw what we needed to see from the first fight and that first build up, the egg slapping and then the pushing, the back and forth. I think there will be some good, some good competitive back and forth, but you've already sold it. That first fight sold everything we needed. I don't even need to see too much bad blood in this one. Maybe some competitive jarring back and forth, but I don't need to see a whole lot here. Just bring the same heat and energy in terms of stature and what you're going to do in the fight and look good, look ready to go. As far as getting to the fight and contract negotiations back and forth, I think Chris Eubank Jr. has earned the right to control this fight, this rematch. I think Ben, if you're going to be fighting at 160 plus, then you come fight at 160 something plus without the likes of Eubank Jr. having to suck himself down and drain himself down to meet a ridiculous catch weight anymore. I don't want to see it if it's at 160, not because the fight wasn't good, it was great, but because I don't want to see Chris Eubank Jr. put himself back through that kind of wear and tear. At this point, you do got to care about the fighter. You did see what it, you saw what it did to him, trying to drain down and get to that weight and then getting held back, 10 plus pounds the next day. I think at this standpoint, Eubank Jr. needs to weigh in at 168. That's his weight. That's where he fights at. Or if you're still going to do a catch weight, it needs to be a catch weight that he's comfortable with. And then I think the rehydration clause, if they're going to have it, I know we want to keep it competitive. You don't want to blow up too much. It needs to be more than 10 pounds. It needs to be something that he's comfortable with, maybe 15 pounds or so. That's the path forward I see for this rematch to even make it better than it was that first time around. Because I think if Eubank Jr. has a little bit more energy, isn't too, drained, we might have saw Eubank actually stop the likes of Conor Benn, especially later in that fight, if he had the energy there to, to press forward, put his foot on the gas, as they say. He won. The likes of Eddie Hearn and Conor Benn need to follow what he wants to do. That's really the proper way forward for this fight. He's now the A side. Technically was the first time, but you know how it went down. Let that man come in at a healthy weight for weigh-in and come in at a nice, healthy weight for fight night so he can have the true energy to bring us proper violence, proper boxing, and proper fighting that night of the rematch. The Eubank you saw April 26, 2025, man, he showed grit, showed heart. The fact that he was able to withstand some of them blows coming from Ben. Ben was putting it on him at certain times, thought he was going to go down. The fact that he was able to muster up the energy that he had already drained himself was amazing and showed that he has a heart of a warrior and a heart of a champion. And really, it was one of the best displays of boxing that I've seen. Not necessarily from skill set, but I'm just talking about heart and competition. Either way, that's the path forward. That's the way I see it going. I think it needs to go in the favor of Eubank. He determines the weight, movements and all that good stuff. Now, as far as location and all that, run it back to just how you had. It was a good venue. Everybody was in the building. It was packed. It was suitable. It was fan friendly, especially for on TV and pay-per-view and stuff like that. Nothing wrong with the venues and all that good stuff. I'm strictly talking about the weight and competition. I think the second time around will be even better if they give proper way to Eubank to be at least close to 100% version of himself via weight, strength, and energy. Anyways, we talked too long on this, man. Hit that like button, comment below, and as always, subscribe if you got that time. It's your boy Caswell with the Sign A Podcast. Until the next time, peace.